So that's her up there, and I made our way into Wrightwood this morning, and it's such a lovely hiker town. They've got so many hiker services. Everyone was so friendly. Many people came up and asked us if we needed rides back to the trail. We weren't even ready. Like, it was so friendly, and everything was right there. Everything was catered to hikers. This has got to be the most hiker-friendly town I've ever visited. We were able to get all of our chores done really fast. Went to the post office, charged my devices. The hardware store was wonderful. A+ to the hardware store. Definitely happy with them. And then on the way back, we timed it. It took us 5 minutes to get a hitch. We decided not to call the people that had given us numbers to offer us rides back because it was so easy to get a ride that we just put our thumbs out. 5 minutes was all it took. But this elderly gentleman picked us up, and he was swerving around, and he was driving slowly, thankfully. But I had to like point out obstacles in hopes that he wouldn't hit the motorcyclists on the side of the road. That was a bit scary, and when we got back to the trail, he didn't put his car into park. It started rolling away after the guy and I were out of the truck, and poor Co was stuck in the car as it was rolling away. But luckily there was a bank and it just kind of rolled up and stopped, and we were really close to hitting another car. The runaway Jeep adventure. Co, do you want to add anything?
I'm glad I survived it.
That was a pretty, he was such a nice, sweet old man, but that was kind of scary. Oh, we survived.
Tomorrow I have to survive that one. So.
Yeah, so that's Mount Batten Powell over there. Batten Powell. I keep thinking it's Batten Powell, but we're working on making a few more miles closer to it to do a morning summit. Whew! Our packs are so heavy. What did yours come in at?
Sorry?
What weight did your pack come in at? 43? Mine is 38. I double checked my base weight and it's still 15 pounds even though I added stuff, so either my scale at home or the one here were slightly off. And either way, whew, it's a heavy carry. I'm like already ready for a break and it's only been like a quarter mile. Why do I think it's heavy? Because it hurts? Not that it hurts. Wait. Oh yeah. Now we overpacked food, and I've got wine and she has is it whiskey? Just have a little bit more ways to go. Just a little bit. Now it's time to summit. We're about 6 miles out. This climb has just been a steep series of switchbacks. It's exhausting. But I have a new pair of socks when I was in Wrightwood. Actually, I wore out one pair of socks the first night out of Cajon Pass. And the day going into Wrightwood, I wore out my other pair of Injun G sock liners. Big holes in them. So, I got some new socks. Sounds exciting. But there's a lot of people camped at the campground that I stayed at last night. Jackson Flats Campground. It was really nice. apparently there's bears in the area now. There's bear boxes. Lots of warnings how bears come into camp. So, gotta start worrying about my food. I'd previously just been keeping it in my tent with me, which was really convenient. So, halfway up the mountain, and it's all snow. The switchbacks are gone. And it's just up and up and up, steeper and steeper. It's exhausting. I'm hiking up with Brooke. It's definitely tiring. Nearing the top, there's point 2 to go to the spur, and another point 2 to the top. And I'm just dripping sweat, and it just keeps getting steeper. It's pretty intimidating, especially with it being so hot. Everything's becoming so slushy. I'm really glad I have micro spikes. And I kind of want to kick myself because I started the trail with no pole baskets because I lost them on the long trail. And I have snow baskets at home that I was saving for the Sierras. And I don't know why I didn't have my mom send them to me. But back at the hot springs a few days ago, there was I left all my stuff out when I was in the water. And when I had gotten back to my bag, there was a set of pole baskets that were the correct ones for my poles, sitting on my shoes next to my bag. I don't know who put them there. They were the correct ones and I needed them, but they weren't mine. And I didn't know what to do, so I just took them off my shoes and left them in the sand and kept going. And I want to kick myself. I don't know what kind of trail magic that was, or how that happened, or who put those there, or if they were intended for me. I feel so stupid for just leaving them there. Like someone intentionally put them on my stuff, as if they were gifting them to me. The hardware store / outfitters in Wrightwood had pole baskets, but they weren't the right type for my poles, so I couldn't use them. I feel so stupid, but I'm almost there. Finally, there's patches of no snow. That view though, wow. So everyone was walking down the ridge from the top up there, but Co and I took the actual trail that went through the snow, and Co went on a slide. We met up where everyone else is going. We took the adventure route. But this is really pretty. It's like snow on one side and dry on the other. Like, it's been a hard day, but it's been really nice. It's been a good day.
Weather is good. Sun is shining.
Yeah. Today has been quite the adventure, and there's still 5 more miles left. Co, Brooke, and I were kind of sticking together through the snow, which was pretty sketchy, and we got separated. I'm so glad to be back on the trail. Co and I have just been walking on not the trail. The trail's just been covered in snow, so we're just like making our own path, like going through bushes, up piles of rocks and whatnot to try to kind of follow the trail, but it's been pretty crazy. We finally got down low enough that there's just a trail that we could walk on. We've slowed down to probably 1 mile per hour to get through that. You think? Yeah.
It's horrible.
It was pretty awful. This just makes everything so much easier. Actually following a trail. So I was getting water down here. It's a steep climb. And after coming back up, picked up my pack and forgot my rain jacket. It was not in my pack. And it rolled down this steep hill over there, like from up there. So I'm going on a little adventure to try to retrieve it. It's somewhere way down there. It's steep and there's so many places it could have caught on. It sucks so bad. After a steep, long, exhausting hike with the help of the wrong way, and it went really far, I found my rain jacket. It was worth getting, but that was very stressful to get that back. Maybe my name should still be Mishap. That was my trail name on the Appalachian Trail. I just wanted to stop having mishaps, so I didn't want to be called Mishap. But success. So last night I camped at Little Jimmy Campground. It was pretty packed. It is a Saturday and there was just a lot of day hikers. There's a Boy Scout troop as well. But there's plenty of space. Still just a lot of people. There were patches of snow in the campground, but that didn't really affect tenting. And then there were definitely sections of snow right after. I didn't film it just because it was tedious and I had to use my micro spikes. The section you definitely need micro spikes in, from Wrightwood down through Little Jimmy Campground. But I think I'm past most of the snow now, so I'll look forward to sending my micro spikes back when I get to Acton. So I'm halfway up Mount Williamson and I get this view. All the clouds are so low. I'm way above the clouds. It's just crazy to look at. Wow. The climb is pretty steep and tiring. Nowhere near as bad as bad in Powell. And my back was actually really sore this morning. I had like a hard time moving, like it hurt. I feel like I'm just kind of worn out. I made it to the top of Mount Williamson. There's no sign, unless it's that over there, but it was a heck of a hike to get up here. So right now I'm hiking the road. There's a 4-mile section of trail that's closed because of an endangered frog, so it's protected habitat. And the detours walked along the road for a couple miles and taking the trail back to the trail. But it's kind of intimidating because there's all these big groups of like motorcycles or sports cars. There definitely got to be car meetups, like fancy of this type of car, and each one's a different color and they all have personalized license plates. That seems to be a really common theme. But they're treating this road like a racetrack. They're speeding like crazy out of control through these turns. It's pretty crazy. And that guy's going like a normal speed, but there are like some big groups that are just flying through here. Apparently this road is pretty dangerous. A lot of people do get hit or get into accidents along here. The guy that drove Co and I back to the trail the other day had said that every week there's an accident like of some variety because of the car speeding. Huh. Lovely. $400 and a second 400-mile marker. It's always confusing when there's like multiple, but if you weren't sure before, you're sure now. It's been a really cold day. It's hard to get going in the morning because it was just cold. I'm like bundled up right now. It's 10 miles of downhill in the shade, so got my jacket on. Oh, and a third 400. If you missed the first two, there's a third. And a fourth. This is ridiculous. There's 4 of them. 4 400s. I'm like half expecting to see a 5th. Let's see around this bend. I think there might be a 5th. That might have been it. And I was wrong. There is a 5th. Look at that. A 5th 400. I'm really confused which way to go because both trails, this one going this way and this one going this way, have the PCT symbol on them. Or wait, this one shows horseback. This one shows no horses but walking. So this must be an alternative for horses. This is confusing. Alright. There are so many tadpoles in this water. Every single little black dot is a tadpole. Oh my gosh. There's so many. The campsite that we stayed at was beautiful. And these views, just being above the clouds and just seeing off into a sea of cloud. Just amazing. And the sunrise, still kind of happening over there. And sunset, we were in like the perfect spot. But there was so much condensation in my tent. Like the worst I've had on the trail, probably comparable to like the worst I've had on the AT. And just the inside of my tent was just soaked, and it soaked everything that touched it. My sleeping pad, my sleeping bag, my clothes. I was putting on wet clothes, my pack, everything was just soaking wet. And it was pretty terrible. So hopefully I could find a place in the middle of the day that's warm and sunny that I could lay everything out to dry in. Hopefully. So the clouds have been really low. Like the trail just went through there. Like it's like nice, bright and sunny, and then you just walk into a cloud for a while, and then you walk out the other side and repeat. It's so bizarre. It just suddenly becomes like cold and moist. And then you can't really see, and then you walk out and then it's bright and sunny and warm. It's so weird. I think I'm gonna walk into another one up ahead. I left the ranger station and now I'm hiking into a cloud. There was a view a minute ago, but the cloud just kind of blew in. It's all downhill to Acton, so I'm sure I'll eventually walk down out of the cloud below instead of through it, and then be able to see it from like above. It was pretty nice last night. It was not cold. It was a pretty warm night. It was super toasty in my quilt. Which and I'm just in the thick of this cloud. You can only see trail so far ahead and it just disappears into white. It's kind of disorienting. It feels like a dream. Like going up and down and the trail slanting, the mountain slanting without seeing a horizon. It's kind of dizzying. So I just hiked up the cloud, went from up there down to here, and there's no cloud. And you can finally see the valley out there. I think as I hike down, I'll get farther away from this like foggy undercloud and into clear skies. Or, I mean, clear like in front of me. I guess it'll be pretty overcast when I get down there. Well, I'm definitely well below the clouds now. It's crazy to think that I was at the cloud level this morning. Getting pretty close to Acton now. I thought I overpacked food from Wrightwood. I had a very heavy pack, and it turns out I packed just the right amount of food because I just have some vegetable chips, a bar, and what else did I have? And some peanut butter left over. I'm probably going to stop in a little bit and finish that off. I'll enter Acton without any food. But my hiker hunger has definitely kicked in. I've been so hungry the past couple days. I've been eating everything. Like I eat a bunch of food, I'm full, like 30 minutes later I'm like, oh, I'm hungry again. It's crazy. I'm eating just a ridiculous amount of food. I can't wait to get into town and go to the restaurant. So I'm in the town of Acton. The whole town is so cute. Everything has to have a Western theme to it. You're not allowed to make any new buildings that doesn't have a Western theme. So everything is just so adorable. Apparently there's a film being shot back in there. Got like camera gear set out. I'm not sure which one it is. That's kind of exciting. Here's the PCT section of the KOA campground. It's pretty nice here.